Guess what? It's foggy. It is a lovely, peaceful Sunday morning here in San Francisco. Not too many people, not too many cars on the streets just yet. The perfect time and the perfect conditions for photography, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next few hours. So I hope you're ready for that. Grab a cup of coffee or tea and let's do it. One of the advantages of big cities is that you always find different things and things that you don't expect, like these two chairs here in the middle of Golden Gate Park. I don't know who put them there, I don't know what they are doing there, but they made for a good photo, I believe. I am right now at the Golden Gate Park, very close to where I live. I do most of my photography around here, well, because it's very close to my home, but also because it gets much foggier over here than in other parts of the city. And you always find something new every single time. When it comes to gear, camera gear, very simple. When it comes to photography, at least, I'm going to be using the A7R4 with the 28 to 200mm super zoom lens. I think this is all I'm going to need for today, but just in case, I have my video camera, which I'm using to film this. It's an A7 IV with a 20mm 1.8 lens, so that is going to be my wide angle lens if I need it. This is the longest I've stayed in one location since I made photography my full-time job 7 years ago. It's not because of a lack of inspiration or motivation, actually the opposite. I've been doing a lot of photography lately. There's just so much to capture here, especially with the amazing conditions we've had. Oh wow, the bison are very close to the fence today. Very rarely you see them this close. Over time, I've come to the realization that photography is a state of mind. When I stand in front of something beautiful or something that I find beautiful, my eyes open up and I can really see. That's what moments like this morning do to me. It feels like the world stops, everything goes quiet, and sometimes it's like I'm in a dream. That's why, for me, the conditions always matter more than the location. It's also why I haven't left San Francisco in over 5 months. Sure, there are other beautiful places out there, but the magic I'm chasing is right here, right at my doorstep. What did I tell you? You never know what you're going to find. I'm having a very hard time making it out of the park because I found I've been photographing the bison, and I was just told by a couple of dog walkers that there is a whole pack of coyotes ahead on this path. I didn't see the coyotes this time, but I found plenty of other things to photograph. I've been shooting these silly containers for way too long. I've been here in the park for way too long. This is why I make most of my photography around here. I just can't make it any farther because I see so many things. It's so beautiful around here. Also the reason why I haven't left the city in 5 months. Now, graffiti, I usually remove it from my images, mainly because I often have no idea what it says or what it means, like in this case. In this shot, I wanted to show the barricade in the overgrown grass, trying to fence nature in and clearly failing. The fog helped creating depth and separating the subject from the background, which fades into little more than just a suggestion. Believe it or not, I wasn't planning on spending the whole time in the park. I actually wanted to go somewhere else, somewhere new, but I kept getting stopped in my tracks. At this pace, I'll never make it out of the park, but how can I pass in this? This is absolutely beautiful. I mean, just look at it. This is a problem I have. I just can't move on when I see something beautiful and the conditions are right, even if there might be something even better farther ahead. Perhaps I'm too cautious, not wanting to give up something certain for something that might not exist. But this trait of mine can also be frustrating because I often wonder what I'm missing by not moving on. Anyway, these photos didn't turn out as well as I hoped. There were marks on the grass from a golf cart, and that messed with the harmony of the image, especially compared to one I took at the very same spot back in July. There was one shot that worked though. I darkened the foreground enough to hide the marks so they are not as noticeable. They are still there, but blending in much better. I'm finally out of the park, out of Golden Gate Park. It only took me more than 2 hours to get here to Ocean Beach. I was hoping to take some photos now of these the fire pits. I thought they could look cool in the fog, but of course by now the fog has cleared up quite a bit, so it's not the same atmosphere, it's not the same mood. So I took a couple shots with a wide angle lens, but now I'm gonna try to compress all of those fire pits with a longer focal length, see what I can get. There are also crows flying around, that'd be cool to capture. I really liked the contrast between the birds and the fire pit in this empty landscape, but I felt like the letters on the fire pit could be a bit clearer and brighter. I played with some gradient masks as well to guide the viewer into the image, cleaned up a few spots, and that was it. I have once again totally failed to go to a different part of the city, which is fine, you know, because I love it here and I think the images I get to make here are great as well, but I would love to go somewhere else. It's just that I can't help it when I go through the park and it's foggy like it is today and I see those beautiful scenes. I get almost goosebumps, so I feel like I have no other option but to take photos. And the next thing I know, well, 2.5 hours have passed and I'm out of time because I need to go back home at a reasonable time. I should be there in an hour and I have at least a 40-minute walk back there. Because, did I tell you about this? I don't think so, but I have a birthday party to attend in a couple hours. But yeah, I think that next time I'll just have to take the bus and go directly to wherever I want to go so I don't get distracted on my way there. I'm always captivated by the surfers at Ocean Beach, especially on foggy days. They are like little black dots in an ocean that disappears just a short distance away. They are facing the unknown, both below their boards and in front of them. So even though I don't usually photograph people, I thought that there was something here, potentially. I took a bunch of shots. This one is funny. The perspective makes it look like the pelican is about to hit the surfer in the face. This other surfer had more potential for a strong image. This frame was my favorite. I darkened him to make the figure stand out against the brighter surroundings, and as usual, I cleaned up the edges and made sure the corners looked right. I also like this shot of another surfer coming out of the water. Since he's smaller in the frame, I took a more subtle approach, letting him blend into the landscape rather than standing out like the previous shot. As you might have noticed, this is the kind of place where you always run into something strange, something that makes you wonder what happened. Like these jeans right here. I actually liked the bird poop around them, but I removed the marks farther away from the subject so they wouldn't be too distracting. I created a couple of masks to bring out the details in the jeans and reduce the detail in the rest of the frame. And of course, I added a linear gradient to the corner to make it clear where the focus should be. And that was the shot. So I'm heading back home. Again, having failed to leave the boundaries that I frequent the most here in the city, I stayed well within my usual range, and that was definitely not my idea this morning. But hey, it's okay, because as I said at the beginning of the video, you just never know what you're going to find. I found those chairs in the park. I took photos of the bison, and I just ran into a bike, an electric bike, I believe, that was on the ground, and I took a picture. Nothing amazing, but it just spices things up a little bit, I guess.
Oh my god, last time we were here.
I mean, I can't be the only one who does this, right? What about you? Are you one of those photographers who gets lost 1,000 times on the way somewhere? Or do you stay razor focused on the goal for the day and make it there without making any other images on the way? All right, I'm almost back home. I have no more time today or this morning for photography. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one, probably from here again. My feet are pretty wet from the grass. They are also pretty sandy from the beach. What a mess.